Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. How is everyone doing today? I hope you are doing grand. So I wanted to have a look into this Harry and Meghan story about the security. There's been a poll and it's worked out like 90 odd % of British people out of 14,000 votes think they should not be paid, have their security paid for by the taxpayer. Fair enough. So I thought I would have a look into how the news has went down with Harry and Meghan, how they're feeling about the security and what's going on. I'm using the Tarot of Dreams. It's a new tarot deck. So let's have a look and see how they are getting on, how they're feeling about the security. So we have got the Seven of Cups. And this is a one that comes up quite often for them. So we've got this very daydreamy, not knowing what to do next, not where to go next, being quite deep, looking into things a little bit too much and not looking in other ideas enough and being a little bit lazy. So they're kind of in the air about this. They think they'll get sorted out. If they're not, it's not reeking of being too bothered at the minute. So I don't really think that they're that bothered about it at the minute. So let's see what's crossing them. Fighting. So yeah, the Five of Wands. So they know that people are not happy with them. They know they're causing this a stink out in the world. They know that there's a lot of kind of Leo energy around their situation because this is the card of a Leo associated with Leo as well. So then they think it's all to do with the hatred of Meghan rather than their hypocrisy as a couple. So that's what they believe is crossing them. I don't think they understand as of yet that it's not Meghan, it's a lot of the stuff people don't like them for is how they went on with the private jets, how they introduced stuff. There's just a load of stuff that isn't necessarily anything personally to do with Meghan, but they still focus that it is Meghan. Yeah, bugger. Okay, so what is known about the situation? Strength again, that's a Leo card. So look how strong we are, look at what we're doing. We are above this, and they want to be shown to be like it doesn't matter, and they are dealing with stuff and they're getting things done, and they're very much a couple. That's what they want to show the world. That's what they want to show the world. But I don't know if it's necessarily, I did a reading on this the other day, I don't know necessarily that they are that a stronger couple, to be fair. Let's have a look what's underneath it. Ooh, Ten of Swords. They're feeling like they have been stabbed in the back and then some. They really feel like this is unfair. Stuff has happened to them. It's very unfair. They didn't deserve it. They have been stabbed in the back. They've been treated so poorly. They'll be reaching out. There'll be loads of different people. There'll be loads of different players in this game, and whether they've done something or not, it doesn't matter because they have got so many people who are in their minds who are against them rather than just being neutral, and they're like attaching narratives to people and things that aren't necessarily there. Because look how strong we are, like look how attacked we are about this, that and the other, but this at the same time they're kind of a little bit disjointed, being a little bit lazy by the whole thing. So yeah, they wanted to come out, they wanted to look absolutely wonderful. Show strength, show support. Like, they thought them leaving the royal family the way they did it, they would come across as stunning and brave, and then they would get a lot more sympathy from the public than. I don't think they believed that they got the response they would get. I really do think that they thought they would get a better response from the public, and everyone would go, oh, those evil newspapers, how dare they say those things, and those famous evil talking head people, those people on that go on the Good Morning television, they are going to all say nice things now, and the public are going to believe us. And I really think that because we have the delusion card there, we really think that they have just kind of like made an epic fail, to be honest. I think the grass was not greener, and things were a little bit harder than they imagined, to be honest with you. Headspace. Money. All about the money. They're wanting wealth, they're wanting prosperity, they're wanting everything just to be like grounded in us, and let's have a nice time and let's have this little fantasy life. They want all their wealth, so they don't want to worry about things and just live the life they want. And why not? They're royalty, surely they should just have all this wealth that'll just like come to them, surely, won't it? That's the headspace. It's all about the money and security and what's surrounding him. The Queen of Swords. Lol. So they will be getting polite but firm no's. So the Queen of Swords can be somebody who's quite blunt, quite direct, very powerful lady. I would imagine that this could relate to the Queen or somebody who's very close to the Queen, and they are very legal minded. They're very direct. There's no fluffy, they're not very yogurt weavery, they're not touchy feely, they're just straight to the point in a bump. So this person who's like surrounded them is trying to keep their feet on the ground and saying, look, no, listen, this is how it balances, this is how it works out. You are being a little bit too like focused on the money. You want the palace and security, they want the palace and the security and the homestead, but you're not kind of putting everything out for it. You're very wishy-washy, up in the air, not sure what you're going to do next. So how's it going to work out? So we have a lot of, and we will be hearing a lot of remembrance from them. Remember when we were younger? Remember that little boy following the funeral procession? Remember my mother? Look at all of these photos of my mother. Look at me. Look at pictures of Archie. We're going to be getting a lot more of that, and a lot more of this kind of down memory lane to try and take the public away from that spiky view of the no money. The no money for security. We're gonna get a lot of how well they're getting on with the Queen. We're gonna get a lot of how much they're enjoying things. We're gonna get them probably turning up at events and being a little bit more smiley, and you can tell when Harry's forcing a smile. He's insincere. You can see the hatred in his eyes, man. It's gonna be a lot of fluff towards the general public, and they're hoping it'll work. They're hoping it remind the general public of Princess Diana, remind them of what happened to her, remind them of it, trying to change public sentiment about it. But what they're getting is change. You've got the death card there. There is going to be a big change, and it's going to go quite deep. Deaths related to the Scorpio. Scorpio is Prince Charles, so it's going to be by his hand. He is going to be the one who meets this out, because I kind of get the feeling that the Queen has got advisors, wants people to say no, but to be honest, she can't be bothered. She's had a lifetime of all of this stuff. She can't be bothered to listen to all the drivel and figure out what's what and find out the facts. But I do think Prince Charles is going to be the one who presses the nuclear button. And then we have the foundation at the end of it. Interesting. I think Prince Charles is going to end up paying for their security. That's a lot of money. I don't know how he's going to afford that way. I mean, God, they're very rich people, but I think Prince Charles is going to end up paying for their security. And they're kind of going to get whatever they want. It doesn't really affect them. They're kind of disjointed from reality. I think they just have this self belief that they're going to get what they want, and they kind of will do in the end, in a way. Very strange. Very strange. So I'm just going to have a look and see how Kate's doing. Because it must be a lot of stress and a lot of pressure. So I'm going to do that. Let's have a look. Let's see how Kate's getting on with all of this. Balance. Yeah. She's just trying to keep everything in control, weighing up of things and keeping everything in sorts. She's an earth sign, she's Capricorn. So this is very much her just saying, right, this is my public face, this is my private face, everything's in balance, and I've got to keep it like this to remain in balance. Crossing the justice, she knows something. She's trying not to be reactive, but she wants something to come out. There is some truths that need to be told, she feels, and it's very hard for her not to react because she does feel like there is some things that need to come out about all of them. She feels something's not being fair, something's not being right. Again, Two of Swords. We've got Two of Pentacles there. To us looking in, she may feel like she is not sure which way to go, and she's got the weight of the world on her shoulders with it, and she's kind of restrained from what's going on. But that's her public face. She's very much like restrained, refined. We won't get an inkling of emotion or an inkling of anything from her of what's going on, but behind the scenes is her struggle of finding that balance, because she feels like there's been an injustice being done there, guys. She really does. We have the Wands energy, the fire energy. So this is a very creative man, a very creative force. It can be a little bit disruptive. It can be a little bit full on, full front. I wonder if it's a father. I don't know. I don't know the star signs of her father. But she relies heavily on this man. It could be a courtier. Again, it could be a woman who presents more masculinely, or somebody who presents more masculine, but it's definitely that kind of like, that's what's keeping it upright at the minute, that support. she really thought that they would have, they were passionate, and she really thought that Harry and Meghan would be a breath of fresh air, a new start, a new beginning, a new way of life. You know, bringing something new in, but it hasn't been that way, and it's really, of course, that could mean that she thinks Harry's thinking with his privates. That could well mean that's Harry's thinking with his privates. That could well mean that Harry is thinking there's a strong sense here that maybe that's what that is. Okay, so let's keep moving. So here we have the High Priest. So she's very much focused on the monarchy, guys. She's very much focused on the institution of the monarchy and what the monarchy means and how it works. So that's her main focus, like the Queen. And, you know, what's surrounding it, Three of Wands. She is trying to work with other people and build bridges. She's open to it. She wants everyone to get on, so she'll be working a lot with like Sophie and Anne and whoever else is in the royal family, and she'll be like, she's trying to get on, and she's probably trying to like open up to Meghan more and do more things like that, but she's very much trying to build bridges and make things work out. Got the twos again. She's worried about them not working well together. Because we've got the Two of Wands there, the Three of Wands. There's so much wands around this. I really get the impression that Kate really thinks Harry's being overly hot-headed. Most of it lies with him, and he's not thinking with his head. I really get that impression from this reading, guys. I really get that impression. Then she knows it's all about money. That's what they're after. She knows it's all about the money and the Hermit. Harry, I think Harry will be back. In fact, she knows Harry will be back because she just thinks this is all hot-headed, passionate, intense stuff. It's all about money. It's all about bling. It's all about greed. It'll fade out, and Harry will be back. So that is interesting. That is interesting. That's how Kate's feeling about the whole thing at the minute. Basically, a long way around. Harry's thinking not with his head. It's a load of passion. She does feel like things, what's crossing her and upsetting is her need for justice and to put things right. And she feels like she cannot do that. So she's trying to have everything in a balance. She's thinking first and foremost about the monarchy. She's trying to work with others to support the monarchy. However, she thinks it's just all about money, and it's all about Harry thinking with his. So yeah, so he may well be back. That's what she feels anyway. So that's my reading on the security and how Kate feels about the whole situation. If you want any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I hopefully will see you guys on the next one. So take care of yourselves. Bye now.